Hiya folks, Ireland was playing Hungary on Tuesday night in Budapest for the Euros. When the Irish players took the knee, there was an overwhelmingly negative sound that blared, and I mean blared, from the stadium before the 0-0 game was actually played. Let's have a listen to this clip.
Fans was clearly audible.
Listen to that, man. When I saw this, I was like, good for you, go on, go on. I love this clip so much because it actually showed us an alternative. Hungary didn't take the knee. Instead, they chose, and we'll just go back here, there, look there. They chose to point at their respect badge on the sleeve of their shirts. Now, this is while we here in England continue to be told by our manager, Gareth Southgate, by England's manager, Gareth Southgate, that taking the knee is just trying to move towards equality and supporting black colleagues and all the rest of it, right? And how could you argue with that? You just think, oh, right, fine, hunky-dory. But anyone, like the Hungarian fans booing, are routinely dismissed by our media class as being nothing more than racist, chippy little oiks in need of re-education. It reminds me of the sort of kind of snobby, sneering snootery that we were met with. The derision, the idea that we are just uneducated filth that occurred after we voted for Brexit in 2016. Exactly the same venom and vitriol is met by footy fans like this, who are saying no to this divisive act. Taking the knee is imported from the United States of America. It's got sod all to do with Ireland or England or anyone else. Black Lives Matter is an American movement rooted in America's problems, which are very different anything here at home. By the way, I hope that they aren't successful in America either, but that's a totally different conversation for a totally different time. Frankly, in everything from the UK government saying it wants to govern in a more Biden-Harris way, what does that mean? Virtue signalling 24/7? Referring to the US president and vice president pandering to them on everything from tax to environmental policies. I'm pretty sick, to be honest, of the UK acting like it's nothing more than a supplicant of the United States. I think it's very hard to argue, in my view, that taking the knee isn't linked to Black Lives Matter. A group, let's look at these. This is from June of 2020. Or a year ago now, they've all got Black Lives Matter posters. We all saw this day in, day out, taking the knee in American sports, being linked to the BLM movement after the killing of George Floyd in Minneapolis. And it's a group, though, that we know now, which we didn't know at this time last year. It's a group that stands for much more than being opposed to racism. Arguably, actually, it's not even opposed to racism, because it talks a lot about white privilege. And can any idea be more, I think, racist than the suggestion that how you're born, your immutable characteristics, an accident of birth, makes you inherently privileged? Can there be any more nonsensical racist idea than the idea that me, who left school, started work when he was 15, left school at 16 and went straight into work. Granddad was a minor, mother a single parent, I was on free school meals. Yet because I'm opposed to the taking the knee, I'm told I'm guilty of white privilege and I don't understand the act of taking the knee. I'm sorry, but that is patronising guff. I understand perfectly well, thank you very much. It's a mad Marxist cult that wants to defund the police and overthrow our institutions. Not exactly a vote winner just yet, thank God. And at a time when many fans, let's not forget that the BLM protests, they didn't all go like this one. They sort of evolved into protests in which police officers were harmed, statues were toppled, and much criminal damage was done. And this all comes, crucially for me, at a time when fans of whatever club playing our national sport, footy, feel completely alienated by the squillionaires running the clubs, the FA and the Premier League, by those who say, I think, are so far removed from the fans that turn up, that pay up and put up with the clubs being seen as nothing more than accessories for a rich man's collection, as opposed to being the beating heart of many of our towns in our country. And I think if the FA did actually want to unite with, why not follow that Hungarian model? Why not actually do an act like this one here that we can all get behind? It's not going to happen, right? We'll continue to be ignored, no doubt. But I hope that means then that England fans continue to boo their own side and make their disapproval heard. Because we've got to just tell these people that we're not going to be ignored. Why are we adopting this knee-bending fad from America? And in the face of opposition by many fans who aren't racist bigots, thank you very much, I think it's time to stop this divisive act propagated by a mad Marxist cult. It's just yet, I think, further example of the corruptive influence of woke politics on our national sport, and we've seen it in cricket as well, where several players are under investigation for historic tweets. I'm with the fans. You aren't racist, you aren't boneheaded, you aren't ignorant morons. I tell you what, you've clearly got your head screwed on a hell of a lot more than most of the commentariat out there that are sticking their fingers in their ears and collecting their pay checks. I say, howay lads, let's be more like Hungary and unite the country behind our team for the Euros. Reasoned relies upon grassroots donations from people like yourself that want us to continue producing our high quality, free thinking content. So please do consider clicking the link and donating, no matter how big, no matter how small, because it really does ensure that we can keep on keeping on.